Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Discovering Nicole. That would be me, your girl, Nicole. I'm so glad to have all you guys here tonight, and I'm so excited to have my girl Jess on. Before we get into it, I'm going to make a couple announcements and get this video shared out. If you are somebody who is in like some recovery groups and things of that nature, if you wouldn't mind sharing this video over on YouTube, on Facebook, on everywhere that you guys can think of to share the video. We would love to have you guys. Old thumbnail though. That's weird to me because I changed the thumbnail. So I met Jess on TikTok a couple of years ago, and she was still in active addiction. She had made a video about losing her pinky finger to active addiction, and I commented on it, and I've been cheering her on and encouraging her ever since, and she got sober finally. And the way she got sober was through methadone, the methadone program. So I want her to come on here and share her experience with you guys. So I am so excited to have her on. Hold on, I want to share this over on Facebook as well. So y'all bear with me. Bear with me, babies. Bear with me. Hey, Allie, will you help me share this and all the share this around, please? It would be really appreciative. I also want to tell you guys about my recovery necklaces that you can get on Etsy. They are literally selling like hotcakes. This one says, recovery is not about giving anything up. Recovery is about taking everything back. I love it. It's my favorite one. It's my personal favorite one. So, there we go. Thank you, Allie. I appreciate it. I'm going to do the same thing. So y'all just bear with me. But yeah, that's how we met. We met on TikTok, and I have been just really cheering her on ever since. I'm really proud of her. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about her ups and downs and struggles at the methadone clinic. We're going to talk about whether or not it was difficult for her to get started on the program. We're going to talk about the stigma that she experiences being on the program. We're going to talk about everything. And you guys know that like I'm a huge supporter of multiple pathways to recovery and alternative paths, you know, and for the longest time, MAP paths were looked down upon. And, you know, I want to help I want to help change that perspective. And I feel like we have been changing the perspective surrounding MAT and doing a damn good job of it. So, let me get this, and then I'm going to pull. Hey, Jess, I know you're back there, baby. Just bear with me just for a second. I want to build up the audience real fast, and then I'm going to bring you on, okay? I want to show y'all Nate's lava lamp as well, because it's finally lava lamping, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. So I just got that shared out. Now I'm going to go over and let everybody know on TikTok that we are live right now. So bear with me. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, you guys? Me and Jess from RxFaerie are live over on my YouTube channel right now. You can get to my YouTube channel by clicking the link in my bio and then clicking the YouTube icon, or you can type in Discovering Nicole and it should pull my channel up right away. But we're going to be talking about alternative pathways to recovery, specifically methadone and her experience with the methadone clinic and the stigma that she's experienced, the success that she has had, and all the things that are in between. So I hope you guys can come join us live over on Discovering Nicole YouTube channel right now. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, get ready. Let's go. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Let me add you to the stage. Hey, girl.
Hi.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. I hear you great.
Good.
I'm really, really excited to have you on. I was telling everybody that that we met, a couple of years ago when you were still struggling in active addiction. And when I tell you guys what caught my eye was Jess was making a video about her hand, and I could tell that it was something that really, really affected her, and I felt so much like hurt in my heart for you. I wanted to support you and I wanted to show you love and I wanted you to get sober. And I just kept cheering her on and encouraging her and watching her content. And she finally went and got on the methadone clinic. And I was so fucking proud of you when you did that. But she has been through so much and she has shared that journey transparently over on TikTok, and she gets a lot of fucking shit for doing that, just like I do. So I want to share with you guys how her journey has been, what inspired her to get on methadone, and all the things in between. So what I want to do is, will you share with us how you got into your active addiction? Like, was it from childhood trauma? Was it something that happened as an adult? Share with us a little bit about you growing up and how you got into active addiction. If I have any questions, I'll ask you.
Okay. So, whenever they brought up DARE in school, I was just always interested in that inebriation, that mind altering thing. I always wanted to alter my mind, but it started with self-harm. I was like madly addicted to self-harming and like self-mutilation.
Yeah.
And so I was really, really depressed and suicidal, and I just didn't care anymore. And I hit up a friend that I knew had drugs, and I hit him up, and he said, why don't you just come do some H with me? It's safer than what I was trying to do. And I went with him and did it for the first time. And right when I did it, I was like in love. I was like, this is what everything was made for. Everything led up to this moment. And so I knew I was like stuck on it. I knew it was going to be a problem for me, but I always told myself it was going to be temporary, that I wasn't going to stay an addict long. I never believed I was an addict. I was in denial that I was an addict. Yeah.
How old were you when that happened? How old were you?
25 or 26.
So your whole childhood up and through your mid-20s, you didn't have a drug addiction.
No, I experimented a little bit with like shrooms, and sometimes I tried pills, but nothing. Yeah, not really. No hard drugs.
What was it? Okay, so I don't have experience with self-harm. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you feel like you needed to do that and why you continue doing it? What does it do when you do it? Because I don't really know anything about it. And I know some people would love to hear your experience with that.
You get a release from it. For me, when I was really angry, it made me feel better, and kind of like a punishment to myself. I'm really into punishing myself. It's, yeah.
No, I understand that. Like, so tell me this. So you had anger issues. Was it because of mental health that you were diagnosed with something that maybe that you weren't getting treatment for? Like, what
Sure.
caused you to be angry? Were you angry? Did you grow up in a family where you were abused by your parents? Were you SA'd? Like, tell me deep down inside, what do you think it might have been caused from?
I had some abuse going with my sister. She was like crazy abusive to me. I had some sexual stuff happen. Yeah, my sister was abusive to me, and I'm sorry, what else?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good, Jess. That's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
So that buildup of having abuse happen when you were a young girl, did you feel like it was your fault and that's why you would hurt yourself and then that would give you relief?
I always thought that I was flawed, and I thought I was bad. I thought she was abusing me because something was wrong with me and that I deserved it. I also had some underlying bipolar issues that I didn't know I had bipolar disorder, and it was never treated. My sister, she got a lot of attention because she was a problem. So she did a lot of bad things and got attention, and I saw that. So I when I got older, I started doing bad things and getting attention.
When you say that, like, it literally just hit me so hard because I have two little sisters. My middle sister, Michelle, I'm the oldest. She always got all the attention because she was always getting in trouble. So
Yeah, that's
me and
how it
my
was.
baby sister would like slide underneath the radar. And in order to kind of like, I guess, get attention also, like I started using drugs and I started getting in trouble at school because of that. And I never thought about it that way, that my parents were preoccupied. Like I never really thought about it as in like maybe I was acting out because of that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So have you been able to stop self-harming, or is that something that you still struggle with today?
I actually have stopped since I started doing drugs. That was kind of my replacement for that.
Yep.
I haven't even thought about self-harming since I traded that for drugs. So yeah.
I'm so freaking proud of you for that because, like, I know I have a friend that's really, really close to me and she has problems with self-harm. And, like, that's one thing that I just don't know how to help her with. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can help with, like, addiction and all the other things, but I just don't understand how to help with that. But the only thing I know to do is try to be there to support her.
Yeah.
So you started doing heroin, and you said that if you felt like it was the answer to all your prayers. That's
Yes,
how I felt
and
about
I
meth
felt
when I
like
found it.
I would tell people that my life is better because I'm doing heroin. Like I stopped going to the mental hospital and I started isolating. That's why, because I stopped going to the mental hospital. But that's because I was busy doing hood rat shit.
So did you start right away, like buying it on your own, or were you like
Yes.
getting it from this guy that you were hanging out with?
Right away he tried to rip me off, so I had to separate myself from him. I got his dealer's info and then I just started buying it on my own. Right away because he was like trying to rip me off.
Did you start just smoking it and snorting it, or did you go straight to the needle?
I went right for the needle. I had him
Girl.
try it. I had him do it to me, and nothing felt the same. So
Nothing compares. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's just the God honest truth. That's
And
why I always
honestly,
tell
I was
everybody,
looking
if
for
you're,
trouble.
I beg people not to do it. And I'm sure you're the same
Me
way
too.
because
Me too.
once you do it like that, it's like so hard to it's so hard to stop doing it like that.
Yeah. It's almost stupid knowing it's almost stupid trying it. Yeah, I feel dumb now, but
So how long were you using substances before you met Chris?
probably 3 years.
And did he struggle too or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how much you want to talk about Chris, but I'm going to leave it up to you.
Yeah, we can
Just
talk.
share what you want to share.
Yeah. We had this agreement that we both liked life better high, and we never really talked about it. We talked about getting help. He was where he was at in his addiction. He didn't feel like he needed help. He felt like he could stop at any time, and he was leaving it up to me to stop. For him to stop. So yeah.
Me and my husband were a lot like that.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, it was like one of us would have to stop and then the other one would try to stop with that person.
Yeah.
And
then
we would relapse, or one of us would say, we deserve a celebration. And then we would go get high together.
That would be me. I would start I would be like, it sounds real good right now. We should get high.
How many times? Okay, so heroin addiction, opioid addiction in general is tough. How many times did you go, were you like, I was always in withdrawal because I was broke as a fucking joke, or I would have to like hustle up money or steal stuff. So were you like that, or did you have like a hustle to where you could constantly have it?
I could constantly have it. I was lucky. I bought in bulk. And I got lucky with my financial situations. I got lucky a couple of times. So
that was not me. Me and my husband, because at the time when I was using opioids, there was not heroin in Arkansas. So we would have to buy like Roxy's or Dilaudids or something like that. And Roxy's were $30 $1 a milligram, $30 a pill.
Jeez.
So, and
Yeah.
we would need like 3 or 4 at a time just to even feel anything, you know?
Yeah.
The one time, I think I did heroin probably 12 times. And the 12 times I did it, every single time I did it, I would be so messed up. People would take video of me and show me because I didn't know how much to do because I had been so used to just doing
So you would be like
30s, you know?
nodded.
Did you not start out on pills or anything? 30
No, I
milligram
went
Roxy?
I tried a fentanyl pill like once before, but it was nothing like heroin. So I
Yeah.
tried a fentanyl pill before I ever tried heroin, but like once or twice. I
And
went right to heroin because I knew what I was getting into, kind of. Well, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew I was going for something really severe because, like, I was wanting to end my life. So, fuck it,
so
drugs. Why
every
not?
time you shot up, you were trying to kill yourself?
Just the first time, just that one time, and nothing happens. It just made me feel really good. So every time I shot up, I was just trying to feel better.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Will you share with us how you lost your finger and what happened?
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's where I came in. I came in to Jess's life on TikTok. She was making a video about her finger, and this is what drew me to you. You were just like I was. You were telling it like it was. You weren't fucking sugarcoating it. You were telling the nasty details, and you were just being real. And I really admired that. I admire that in people when they share their story without any filter, you know? So that's what drew me into you. How did you lose your finger? What happened? Tell us about it.
Okay, so I was pretty deep into my addiction at this point, maybe like 4 or 5 years into it. I was muscle shooting constantly, and I couldn't get any veins in my arms. They're all like scarred up. So I was going in my fingers, and in my fingers there was a hairline vein, and sometimes I could hit it and I would feel high again, which it was really rare for me to even get high because my tolerance was so high. So I was like desperate to feel high. So I
Yeah.
finally was able to get high off shooting in my fingers, and I was able to do it a couple of times, and a couple of times I did miss and it swelled up, but it went down. So I thought I was okay. So one night I was with Chris. I did it in my finger, and it hurt. It shot like it burnt like fire. It felt like so fucking painful, and I went to bed. And they said it didn't matter if I went to bed or if I came straight in anyways. But I went to bed, woke up, and my finger was green. And I went to the hospital, and I didn't know I was going to lose my finger. They were like fucking with me because I was a drug addict, treating me like shit. The nurse was like, "You're probably going to lose your finger," just like that. Like, because I was talking loud and I was crying.
That
And
pisses me off so fucking bad,
yeah,
dude.
they
Like,
snuck me psych meds. They gave me a Haldol, told me it was pain meds because they wanted me to shut up.
that's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah. But anyways, I was there for 2 days. They tried to unblock the block. They said it abscessed in my finger and blocked a vein. And so they tried to unblock it, and I stayed in the hospital for 2 days. But they took only the tip at first. And then a couple of months later, they had to take the rest of it because it rotted off. It was disgusting.
And it just turned completely black?
Yeah, it turned on day 2. It was black. I have pictures of it, but every time I post them, I get flagged.
Yeah, don't post them because I don't want you to get your account taken
Yeah.
down. Will you tell everybody, because there's people that watch my channel that don't know what muscle shooting is. They don't understand any of that. Will you share with us, and why would you shoot in your muscle? What muscle do you do that in? Tell us about that.
So, I experimented a couple of times with muscle shooting at first because I was smoking, and then when I would get to the end, I would have to scrape the resin from my pipe, and I would only be able to shoot that because I scrape it with a Q-tip, a wet Q-tip. So I would have to shoot that to make it last because it was on the Q-tip. There's no way to smoke it.
Yeah.
So I would muscle shoot it, and I have felt it a couple of times. It made me like high. So I thought it was like an easy way to go when I couldn't get a vein. So, but it hurts bad. It hurts bad. And I kind of feel like it took over the self-harm. Like at one point I was just doing it just to do it, like to self-harm kind of. I was just muscle shooting, and it wasn't getting me high at all towards the end at
That's
all.
what I was gonna say. Did you even get high from it? Because I used
Only
to,
once, like only
like,
a couple of times.
if I couldn't get a vein, I would not stop until I got a vein. Like, and sometimes it could take, hours.
I've been there. I remember throwing my lamp around, trying to hold it in different positions to get to see the veins in my arm, getting so mad.
Getting in and out of the shower and
trying to warm up your skin.
That is the worst, dude. I'm so grateful that we don't have to live like that anymore. But when I think back to it, like, that's torture, man. Like, that was fucking torture.
It's abuse.
Yeah, it's horrible. Okay. So, damn, dude. I just know that, like, when I saw, because it was the pictures that you were posting of your pinky, you had posted that on TikTok when I first found you.
I posted the pictures of it too, so you could see in those videos, you could see it like amputated and turning black and shit.
Yeah. What finally made you decide to get on methadone? Like, because I mean, girl, I didn't know. I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't think you was ever gonna get sober.
I didn't think.
I didn't think. And when Chris passed away, I didn't think you was ever gonna get sober after that.
No hope for me either.
Why did you what happened? What prompted you? What made you realize I gotta fucking do something different?
I didn't even have a plan to get sober. I just had to go to the methadone clinic so I didn't get sick because I ran out of money. I moved here from Maine. I just got robbed. I got beat up and robbed a week prior, so everything was taken from me.
I remember that.
I had no more money. So I went to the methadone clinic and I just was like, well, I'm sober. I'm 2 days sober now. I'm 3 days sober because I had no money. And then I went to the mental hospital because I was having a really bad week, wanting to hurt myself. So I went to the mental hospital and then I made it to like 20 days sober. And then I guess the methadone started working. My cravings started going away. I did have a relapse in January. My cravings came back. I don't remember what exactly it was. I think I needed to go up on my dose or something, but my cravings came back and I had a lapse. But when I had that lapse, it was different for me. Like, I was addicted to the taste of fentanyl and everything, but when I smoked it, it was so disgusting. I was like, this is the shit I was going nuts for. This nasty ass shit. It's not worth it. And it didn't even get me high.
I'm so happy that you got sober. Like, I really thought you were. I would go to check your account, and then I remember your old cell phone number. I would text it because you got a new number, and I had your old number, and I thought I hadn't seen you on TikTok, and I thought, oh my God, I wonder if she died, dude. Because, like, I will find people on TikTok who I like to follow who are struggling, and I'm like, I want them to get sober. But I thought, oh my God, did she die? And then I found you had another account. I think one of your accounts had got bananaed or something like that. And I found you again. And then I just see you doing so good and going to the methadone clinic. And I want you to talk to everybody and share to us about, like, what the process was like getting on methadone. Did you have any, like, what are the bad things? Tell me the cons of being on methadone, and then I want you to tell me the pros of being on methadone.
So one con is at first I had to go every single day, and I had to earn my take homes, and I can't go visit my dad in Hawaii. I can't go out of town. I mean, I could guest dose, but that's a pain in the ass. And then what if something goes wrong and they just won't dose you? Like, right. So, sorry, I forgot what we were talking about. What?
You're doing good. Tell me another con. What's another thing that you don't like about being on methadone?
The taste is disgusting. It makes me throw up. I have to eat a cracker every time. If I feel like sick and I tell them I don't want to take my dose today, they tell me you'll lose your take homes. You have to take it. Like, there's no option for, like, not taking it. Like, they make you take it.
Even if you're, like, gonna vomit because you have that, like, vomity feeling.
If you're gonna vomit, you have to stay in because they won't redose you if you throw up outside the clinic. Like, you have to throw up inside the clinic and they have to see the throw up, so they'll redose you. But if I throw up, I'm not redosing. I'm out of there.
What is the clinic like that you go to? Is it a lot of people that are still struggling with addiction? Is it triggering going there?
I just switched clinics, but I've had people ask me for my number and ask me where to get shit. I had a drug dealer camped out there pretending to give out free iPads, And then that was when I lapsed. They gave me 4 free fentanyl pills. That was at the methadone clinic. That was
wow, really?
Yeah, they didn't have a car or anything. They had a shopping cart, and they were like, you need to put your info in this iPad and we'll get you a free iPad. And then they were like, so do you guys use? And I didn't, but the girl with me did. And he was like, well, I got some, and then busted out. And I was like, right then and there, I was like, can I have some?
Yeah, yeah. I would have freaked out, dude. That would have scared the shit out of me. I think I probably would have done the same thing.
Honestly, I was looking to relapse around then anyways, so it was like my prayers were answered, but it didn't do it for me, so it worked out.
Yeah. Isn't it? I feel like that's how it goes. Like when you're struggling and you're wanting to get high, this is how it happens for my husband, at least when he's relapsed. All of a sudden, it's like a magic Xanax will fall out of the fucking sky and he'll find it at his job. And I'm like, crazy. Dude, how does this shit happen for you? Because I could never get that lucky.
You know what happened to me? That's I want to hurt myself over this, but fucking when I got beat up and robbed before that, the guy dropped a full baggie full of crack outside, and I picked it up and I gave it back to him. I am so mad at myself.
Well, no, that's because you're a good person. That's good juju.
The next day he robbed me of everything and beat me up. So I'm just
why did he do that? What was his reasoning?
He wanted my stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? And because I was talking back, he beat me up because he's like his name was Murder. He went by the name Murder, and he was a hard ass. He would fucking beat up anyone who talked back to him. And obviously I talked back to him because he stole my shit.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude. Oh my God, no. When I heard you talking about getting beat up, I was like, she's on her way to being killed. And because you were living on the East Coast then, remember?
Yeah. And I was like traveling out of state to go pick up because like it was really expensive there. So if you go out of state, you can get it way cheaper. That's how I could afford it.
I was like, she's going to die. She's getting beat up. This is like the end. And then you came back to where you live now and got sober. So I'm just really proud of you for getting sober. And
it all worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Tell me about how your experience was going from fentanyl to methadone. Did it take you a lot of methadone to get better from your fentanyl withdrawals?
Honestly, I was okay at 30 milligrams. I wasn't hurting, but my cravings were so bad. I only went up because of my cravings.
Yeah.
I was okay physically on a low amount, but now my body is addicted to the amount I'm on. I'm at 140 I'm at 125. But
your body's going to become dependent on it because you've been on it.
I have to take that amount now.
Yeah, and you get used to it. There's no dose shaming here. Like, I want you to know, like, everybody's body is different. You know, I used to be on 12 milligrams of Suboxone when I first started out on Suboxone. And I know some people that are on, 140 milligrams of methadone. If it's helping you and you're able to be a productive member of society, you're happy, you can be a part of your family again, you're not putting a needle in your arm. To me, that's what the most important things are. Because when you were in active addiction, you couldn't be a part of society. You were just, really just always fucked up.
Wasted away.
What are some of the things that you experience that are stigmatizing about being on methadone that you experience from the recovery community?
Well, some people say that I'm not really sober, and that my stepdad says I trade one drug for another. That's really fucking annoying. Because it's not the same thing at all. And I still consider myself sober. Trading.
Okay, so if you were still in active addiction, you would be doing all that crazy shit you were doing when you were in active addiction. And you have changed. Your behaviors have truly changed on TikTok. Just from me watching from the outside, looking in on TikTok. A lot of people say that about me as well. I've been on Suboxone for 8 years. And it used to really, really affect me. It used to hurt my heart so bad because being sober and being in recovery is so important to me because I had to change my life or I would lose my kid. But what I have learned is that a lot of people, when they attack us and they say things about us not being sober, it's really because they feel some type of way. They're upset because they feel like we have cheated, like we have got the easy way out.
Yeah, they're still struggling usually.
But we didn't get the easy way out. If anything, we added an extra step. You know what I mean? Like,
did the work.
yeah, and we had going to the methadone clinic, getting dosed, getting your take homes, dude. That takes a lot of like dedication and them trusting you and them believing that you're doing the right thing. You've been passing all your drug tests.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a drug test come up where you failed it and then but it wasn't really a fail?
Oh, at the beginning, I failed for like 3 or 4 months, but I think that stayed in my system that long. But no, I've been passing, and it's been consistent now.
I'm good. I'm proud of you. I'm really
I
fucking
hope
proud of
that
you. I
never
don't think you
happens.
understand.
If I never get a false positive.
Do
But
what?
I don't know. They say certain medications can cause that, but they can send it to the lab and check. They said.
Okay. Yeah. I've had a false positive before when I first got on Suboxone, but it was for benzos. And they had, like, for some reason, they were using tests and they threw those out and now they don't use those anymore. But that was like 7 or 8 years ago when that happened. What do your family members think about you being on methadone? Do they support it?
My mom's happy because I'm out of active addiction and I'm just doing better. Like, she's happy. She doesn't have to worry about me anymore. My dad's happy, so everyone's happy. My dad is a little bit like believing that I should get off methadone because being off everything would be the best. And he is right, that would be best, but it's just not best for right now, so it's not happening.
Right. I mean, you can always try that in the future. Like,
Yeah,
there's no rush.
Yeah, exactly.
Please do not rush, okay? Because people used to pressure me when I first started sharing my story about being on Suboxone, and just don't rush. I have seen so many people that they get rushed and they get pressured and then they try to jump off and then they relapse. I've seen people die because of that.
Yeah, and that would happen because your tolerance is, down.
Since you have gotten sober, how are you coping with losing Chris? Because I know he was such an integral part of your life. Are you able to cope with that better? And now that you're sober, or are you still really struggling with that? Like, how's that going?
I feel relief because I don't feel so guilty that I'm using while he's not able to be here. Like,
Yeah.
I felt so much guilt still using after his death. Like, I wanted to tell people I got sober because of him, but that's just not the truth. It wasn't.
Yeah. And now that you're sober, he's like watching over you and knows that you're sober.
Here to see, because he didn't. We all had like this really low view of what I would be. Like, we all thought I was going to be an addict forever because I was so fucking addicted, and my mindset was, I love these drugs, I'm not going to quit. That was my mindset, and he knew.
Why did you get sober? Because of you getting what? I know you got beat up, but I love drugs too. I love the way they made me feel. But I got sober because my son, that really helped me. What was it that really helped you to get sober? What changed your mind?
I'm sick of the chase. I'm sick of finding shit. I'm sick of bad things happening to me. That was it. That was the final bad thing that happened to me. Like,
yeah.
So many bad things have happened to me. I've been homeless. I've been SA'd. I've been beat up. I've seen dead bodies. Like, it's not even one dead body. It's multiple dead bodies. Like, my life is fucking,
That's some traumatic shit.
Yeah. And I'm just glad that I'm not using anymore. Honestly, when I was using, I had more darker dreams. Like, I felt like I was closer to death and that, like, my life was hinting that I was going to die. And being sober, like, now I'm dreaming about the same thing every night. It's a little boring, but it's safer. I'm not having nightmares all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so in sobriety, what are things that you are, like, what are your goals that you're working on in your life that you're trying to work towards in your sobriety? Do you have any goals set? Do you have any career paths that you want to take in the future or anything like that?
I want to be successful and I want to not have to worry about money, like, in my future. So I'm thinking about going to school for a makeup artist or esthetician. I've kind of briefly tried to go to this go back to work program, but I kind of gave up. But I'm thinking about going back to it.
Dude, you should totally do skincare and makeup. That would be something that you would enjoy doing.
Yeah, I've always liked that kind of stuff. I just never thought I could, like, make a career of it.
But yeah, you could.
I had to do something with animals. That's
with
what I.
social media, you could build your social media and get clients through your social media.
Yeah, that's what I see everyone doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Well, kind of. I'm trying to
I
build.
think that would be such an awesome thing. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me this. Do you do any kind of like AA, NA, smart recovery, or do you do therapy? Like, what do you do besides the methadone clinic that helps you stay sober?
I
And there's
have
no right or wrong answer. Just what do you do?
I have a really good substance abuse counselor. I didn't know she was a substance abuse counselor at first. I thought she was a grief counselor, but she's a substance abuse counselor, and she's awesome. So I've been doing that. I would consider going back to NA or AA now that I'm sober. Now that I have the mindset that I hate drugs, but I just haven't gotten back into it. But I would check it out.
Or you could do what I always tell people to do that I think is amazing, and I'll send you the link to it, is the MERA meetings, and it's Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, and it was literally created for people that are like on methadone, Suboxone, Sublocade, Cali Sober, and they support like a lot of harm reduction stuff too, and it's online, and they have ones in real life. I'm going to send you the link because I know
Yeah.
they have some where you live, like in person. But I'm just fucking really proud of you. You have no idea. Like, I really did think that you were going to die.
Yeah, me too.
It's hard to sit and watch people online when you see that they're struggling and they're far away and you can't go help them. I'm sure you see lots of people who are going through it on TikTok. What is it? How does that make you feel? And do you feel like you'll ever be at a point where maybe you'll try to help other people in the future or anything like that?
Honestly, seeing videos of people struggling motivates me not to ever be in that place again because I have control over it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I would help people in the future. I don't think I'm ready to right now. Just because personal issues, but I would like to help people in the future. I'm thinking about joining this peer support thing with my clinic.
Yeah, I tell everybody to do that. You can get your peer support specialist certification in your state, and then you could literally, you know how you got treated like shit at the emergency room? Bitch, you could be a peer in the emergency room and meet people where they're at. When people come off the streets and they're high, and you could be their first line of contact at the emergency room, so that way they don't get treated like shit.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I have, like, here where I live, they have an awesome peer program, and anything that you can do in that program, you could get a job at the ER, you could get a job at a treatment center, you could get a job at the police department. I mean, you could do so many different things with it, and it's not hard to get it. It takes like 6 months, and you do some like internship stuff.
I heard it wasn't that hard, so.
No, you would be amazing at it. And you could do that as well as doing like makeup and hair and things that you're passionate about as well. Do you feel like since you've gotten sober that your passion to like do content on TikTok and do makeup and stuff, do you feel like that's grown since you've gotten sober?
Definitely, because I'm constantly trying to distract myself, and TikTok is a distraction.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. Do you ever get, okay, so I'm going to ask you this because I know the answer. So, with all the hate that we get online, how do you cope with the people that say horrible things to you or try to make fun of you for having no finger or things like that? What do you do that helps you stay strong and not pay attention to that kind of stuff?
I remember that I'm actually happy.
Yeah, and that you actually have a motherfucking life.
That's it.
And that's like the best revenge is being happy and healthy and having your family.
With that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question, then I'll let you go. If somebody was watching this video right now and they are just like you were a couple of years ago, and they were, desperate, down and out, shooting up, lost a loved one, and they feel like they can't live another day, what would you say to somebody to help encourage them get sober? Like, what can you say, and what would be your words to them?
I don't know exactly how I would word it, but I would explain to them that, my life got so much better. It was all up to me. I made it better, and you can too.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh, I get a little emotional because I remember you being like not like this, and you were so depressed and so sad and so broken, and now you you just have so much confidence and radiance, and it's like shining through in your little face right now as you're talking. Like you look so much better. I'm so fucking proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of you. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody discourage you. Methadone is recovery. MAT is the gold standard for opiate use disorder. Okay. So fuck what other people think. And I love you. And I want all of you guys to go follow Jess. I'm going to put her tags, but she's RxFaerie, but it's spelled FAERIE.x on TikTok. I'm going to link both of her TikTok accounts, her main and her backup. And I love you, girl. And thank you for coming on and talking shit with me and sharing your story. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Okay, y'all. So, what did you guys think of Miss Jess? Like, I just didn't want to get too emotional with her on here, but I really need y'all to hear me when I tell you all this, okay? Like, I don't think you understand. When I found her on TikTok, I think it was like 2020, 2021, like, I would watch her, and sometimes I wouldn't even comment because I was like, oh my God, this girl is going to die. I'm going to come back to her account and she's going to be gone for weeks, and it's going to be because she passed away, you know? And people will tag me on TikTok in people's content that are struggling with addiction. And so I would get tagged on her videos, and it just made me so upset, like, to see her hurting so bad. And then her boyfriend passed away, you know, and then she went and she was even farther down, and then she got beat up by that drug dealer guy, and then she was farther down. And I just thought, oh my God, like, she's going to end up passing away. And I hate that shit, you know, like, because you want to be able to save everybody. But her getting on methadone saved her fucking life, y'all. Like, when I tell you, she was deep into her active addiction. And so seeing her clear-eyed, smiling, radiant, like, just happy to be online and trying to share her story, it gives me so much hope for other people that are out there that are struggling. So I really hope that her sharing her experience, if you're somebody who's struggling with fentanyl addiction and you've tried to get sober, you've tried abstinence and it hasn't worked for you, give it a try, dude. The methadone clinic or being on Suboxone could save your life, and there's no shame in needing the extra help. If you're somebody who struggles with self-harm, like Jess did for a really long time, you can turn your life around and you can heal from self-harm addiction as well. Because I truly believe that it's an addiction just like injecting drugs or using drugs is. It's something that we do because we're struggling on the inside and we need relief, you know, just like she said. So I want to have her back on. I'm going to text her and ask her, because I really want to get her warmed up and used to going live with me, because I would love for her to come on here and talk more about her self-harm experience, because I really don't know a lot about self-harm. And I think that her sharing that could really, really help people. But I'll hit her up and talk to her about that later. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I didn't want to make it too long because y'all know I can be on here for 2 hours. Don't forget to check out my Etsy store, which is Discovering Recovery, where you can get your recovery necklaces. Join Patreon because it's just the best. And what else do I got to say? That's about it. I love you guys. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.